All right, we are recording now. Hello, Zuleika. I'm here. Hi,
Hi.
I'm here with fabulous Zuleika, very talented makeup artist, and Zuleika is here to share her experience in transformation by being and doing the program which I have, and being in the group and doing the relationship program. And I did do my eyebrows especially for Zuleika because it's important. Hi. We have
Hi.
we have not planned to
No,
wear the red at all, and
no.
usually I see you in black, and usually I'm in black, so
Yes.
we change different colors. But today, for special occasion, we did match. We've been aligned.
It's the color of love, right?
It's the color of love. I'm going to talk about love
Mm-hmm.
today. Mhm,
Mm-hmm.
mhm. This
Mm-hmm.
is what I'm always talking about, powerful women. Like, it's tricky, right? It's actually sometimes it's pretty tricky. It's not that easy.
Mm. Most of the
Mm.
time. Most of the time. You're navigating things that don't have a roadmap.
Yeah, or the roadmap hasn't been before. Now we have
Yeah.
some. Now
Yeah.
we have a direction.
Yes.
Okay, so I do have a few questions for you. So that will be, we will have structure called. However, anything you want to share from yourself, feel free. Feel
Okay.
free to do it. Okay, so the first question is when did you do the program? When was it?
Oh my gosh, it's been over a year.
Right?
I'm just
Yeah.
realizing, yeah. I think I started around this time in 2018.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It doesn't feel like it's that long ago. I think because we keep in touch and we're still like growing, and as one thing shifts, another thing takes its place and everything, and we're all still in touch and we're still having our monthly calls. So it doesn't feel that long ago. Wow. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's pretty incredible. And also, so I asked you to do this interview after our call yesterday, and we have those calls once a month, and that's the beauty of it, right? We can see all
Mm,
the women are like blossoming, and it's so good to share that journey
mm,
together. Okay,
yeah.
so let's talk a little bit about how was before the program. What were your main like problems before the program that you decided to actually do something about it, and you decided to take responsibility and take charge in your own love life?
This is an emotional one.
Mm.
Before I started the program, I was dying.
Mm. Mm.
I was dying. I had just been fired from my job.
Mm.
I was super depressed.
Mm.
I'd put on loads of weight. My relationship with my partner was falling apart. We just could not reconcile. It
Mm.
felt like, it just felt like I was dying. And I was getting therapy, and it just felt like there was something missing from that. And I going was going into the rooms
Mm.
and working on myself there, and that also didn't feel like it was reaching, like shedding light in places that needed to be illuminated. It felt like there were parts that were still in the dark.
Mm. Mm. So you mentioned you've done a lot of different work like rooms and therapy,
Mm,
and actually you could not bring the light what was the cause of all
yeah,
of that darkness and depression. And yeah, thank you for sharing. Like, I was dying. Like,
yeah,
that's a pretty rock bottom, right?
yeah.
When you're
Yeah,
mm,
I was at rock bottom,
mm.
definitely.
And when you bring your, like, when you would be more specific, that time you did not know, but now do you know what was not working then?
So many things. So many things. I was in survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
I was not in joy.
Mm.
I was not thinking about my desires at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was in like deep codependency with my partner and with my friends, family, everything. I was so totally focused on everything except myself.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
And this is, I'm not saying I'm perfect now by any means, but I'm way better and more in tune with that. And like that, it's, you know, the compass is swinging north more often than it's waffling
Mm-hmm.
about.
And this
So
is
yeah.
big what you're saying about like I was focusing on everything else except
Mm-hmm.
myself.
Yeah.
Right? First for and that's the like very common women conditioning, especially in relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are actually made and conditioned to please everyone else and put ourselves on the last on the list, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there is a two sorts, right? One, you please everyone is perceived happy.
Yeah.
Not very happy, but perceived happy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But the second side of it is that we can like women can blame everyone else for their unhappiness.
Oh yeah, that's right. There was zero accountability
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well. Like everything was, well, to a certain extent I could account for some things, but for the most part I was still in very much in that place of like, if they would just do this, I could be like that. Yeah.
Thank you. And especially with the men, right? Like if
Yeah.
he would behave like that, then I will. And when we wait for it, it never happens.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or it happens with somebody else because they like go off and find someone else because you're so, I don't know, like that you don't feel good.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And what was the moment when you said like, I have to do it now? Like what was that moment when you did make that decision? Because going in that rock bottom took time, right? It wasn't overnight from I'm super happy to not. What was the moment when you're like, that's enough? Because I feel that this is a moment where actually the decision happened and shift can happen to ask for help.
There are so many moments, but one that sticks out to me is I was having a text conversation with my sister Naomi, who you know, and I was talking about the fact that I just could not stop binge eating. And I had gone to the shops and I had bought ice cream, cookies, and I think donuts or muffins or something. And I proceeded to eat and just eat and eat and eat. And I thought, I'm gonna, like I said, you know, I was dying. I'm gonna kill myself. Like if I continue to do it like this, it's gonna be like that slow, passive suicide. And then I was like, I can't do this anymore. Something has to change because I need to be here, and I can't be here like this.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for that level of honesty and clarity. And how many times binge eating is not connect, like women or men don't connect binge eating with actually love life problems, right? But a lot of time actually it's super connected. The moment you have feelings about it, the moment you don't know how to do it, this muffin, this chocolate, this ice cream is coming in and it's not going out. Like it's not, there is nothing, no force can stop you. And you can see how much consequences not resolving that issue is on your health, right?
Yeah.
Not only relationship, on your health, on your job.
Yeah.
You can get fired, right? And like even like waking up in the morning and or like not being able to sleep, not being able to see yourself. I need to be here, but I don't know how.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Then you decided to start. Sometimes we need to get really kicking the we need to have really painful experience to decide to change something. And look, something inside in you wanted to leave. Something inside of you decided beyond binging, food eating, cookies binging, to actually do something. And then you signed up and you started showing up. And I have to say, you show up every time you showed up. You did all of the program and you had results.
Yeah, I did. And I won't lie, it was so hard. It was so hard. And one of the things for me that seems a bit silly, because I'm an artist and I share parts of myself so much with an audience. But one of the hardest things is sharing these really intimate moments and writing that and then sharing that with others. That was really scary. That was almost harder for me than actually doing the program and having all of these realizations and everything. Was like sharing it. That was really difficult, but I'm glad I did some of that.
Yeah, it's part of the practice, right? You're sharing in a group, you learn how to share those in the group.
Yeah.
Fully supportive, fully like safe and supportive. And then how, after sharing that, how that change your ability to share your vulnerability with your partner.
Oh, wow. It's just like a habit. I think it's getting into that habit. And there are times when I'll go into him and I'll say, look, I'm having a moment and I need to share with you what's happening. And now we're both more comfortable with sharing with each other when we have a moment, and we check in more. Whereas before, I think both of us were hiding. We were both hiding, trying to protect each other from whatever darkness or just anything that we were feeling, anything that we were worried about. Even if it was, I'm going to use this term, like silly. And
yeah, of course, we know there is nothing silly here.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's good to just like name it.
Yeah. So, the things that you label in your head as silly that are not silly, they're valid. And they need to be shared in order to clear it. So we do that a lot more now, and it's easier. It gets easier every time.
Beautiful. So that's one of the shifts you make during the process and transformation. One is to be able to share your real vulnerable self, not only artistically exposing, but actually real raw vulnerability, where you're really at. So you're able to reveal part of you, be seen. Something you all want to, right? You want it forever, but without you revealing it, no one can see it. So
yeah. And
now,
that was it.
so now you are seen, and he can see you, and you can see him. What two more shifts you did, you experienced?
I think the main one is getting out of I don't necessarily have the good woman mentality in terms of good women don't speak up, but definitely I have good woman mentality in terms of everything is supposed to be cleaned and you're supposed to cook, and women manage things and women just get on with it. And a strong, I had good woman mentality or strong woman mentality in that sense, where I was picking up rocks, carrying them, not asking for help. And that's a really big shift that's happening, particularly in the current moment, is that people are helping me, and I'm receiving that. I'm receiving that help. Whereas before I'd be like, no, it's fine. I can do the washing and cook and do everything and go to the supermarket and do my studying if I'm studying or whatever, and everything. I can do everything all by myself. I don't need anyone.
Now you need it.
Well, now I realize it was, I always needed it. I always needed it. I always needed it. You can't get on, and then you just feel resentful.
Yeah, we are humans, right? Everyone needs each other, actually.
Exactly. Yeah.
So now you accepted neediness.
Yeah.
Neediness.
Yeah.
And you can receive it.
Yes.
And what is the effect on your partner when you do that?
I think to a certain extent it's really hard to be with somebody when you don't know what you can do for them. You don't know why they're with you, and obviously them wanting you is part of that, but everyone needs to be needed. And I think it's helped him to feel more strong in his masculine energy, that I do need him and that I'm not going to bite his head off if he offers to carry something for me or open a door. Or, I mean, those are small examples, but what's true on a micro level is true on a macro level. So yeah.
This is so beautiful, right? Those nuances, those moments make up whole relationship, really.
Yeah.
And being able to catch yourself and actually shift and change your attitude to those small moments, everything matters, right? And you receiving his support, his help matters, and he is more masculine, he can show up in a way you always wanted.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I didn't realize I needed that.
This is so good. This is really beautiful. Where can we talk about on that level about relationships?
Yeah, I don't know many places. I think, having that awareness as well is difficult. It's difficult to talk with friends who are outside of this program about it, because doing this program, you receive such a high awareness of energetics, and these small things that you're doing, and trying to share that with others is really hard unless they've been through breaking down all of the barriers that you've been through, because otherwise it's just what are you talking about? This is mad. Or there's so much inherent training that we have to break through in order to receive this kind of knowledge. So yeah, it's
Really
Not many,
good.
not many people.
You have to be ready for it, isn't it?
Yes, yeah, I think
Mhm.
so. I think so.
Beautiful. So mainly it was being able to show yourself and being able to receive, which are huge when it comes to relationships. Without that, there are two zombies together. Right
Yes,
now, you can
yes.
actually create real, real, real love, real love relationship. Like you can show up for the relationship and for
Yeah,
love. Hmm.
yeah.
Really beautiful. Okay, so let's talk about now. How is it now when you look at this time after, right? So there was a process and a lot of realization, a lot of change, transformation. Now, of course, it is a journey and there is the new things are arising and you know what to do. You have all tools how to do it. What are the 3 benefits right now you can see from this whole program? Like if you would put, how is it now, right? Like how is it now easy where you don't have all of those problems, though, those like wanting to die, on, you know, those binging, those like being lonely, like really not finding yourself, like almost losing your relationship, lost the job. Like what are the benefits now when you don't have to have that problems, you don't have to be in this like women conditioning when we talk about you don't have to be that broken girl or, you know, bully woman who breaks everything just to get her way, but you can actually
Yeah.
be in connection and in relationship with your partner. How that benefiting your life, your relationship, your career, your health, your your life.
I think the main thing is that I'm able to ask for some really difficult desires and needs to be met. And I won't say that there's no fear around them, because that wouldn't be true. And also I think the fear is part of it. But I'm able to ask for that now, and to stand clearly in desire and say that it's valid and I have a right to ask for those things. The second thing is that we have such
You just broke. Can you repeat the second thing?
yeah, sorry. We have such better boundaries. I just in general have much better boundaries. And in our relationship, our boundaries are really good, and our time together that we spend is our time together that we're spending.
Quality.
Yeah, it's quality, and we will go out for dinner and maybe it's an hour, and then both of us are working, we both have really busy schedules, we're both artists, but that time that we're spending, it's about placing that real attention and intention on each other, which is, you feel full after that.
Yeah, this is really good. So it's like not quantity but quality, right? With now lockdown, everyone's sitting together and some people are I feel more lonely than I've ever felt it.
Yes
Because I cannot connect. I have this person in front of me, but I cannot connect and I cannot feel it. Right? When you 1 hour, you can, when you open and you can feel it, you can really fill up your connection tank, your love tank, right? I talk a lot about filling your juice tank, like filling your love tank. Like we actually need love like food, and if we don't have a love, binging.
Yeah, exactly that. And we've been in lockdown to get together, and we're lucky in the sense that we've been together for quite a while, so we kind of know each other's habits, but there's been a conscious decision that we would not love bomb each other as well, because that's another problem, like trying to spend so much time together and then you're just I get out my face.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so, and that has been nice, because before, when I was really in codependency, I
Mm-hmm.
would be like, oh my God, why aren't we having all of these amazing long big chats, and why isn't this happening and that happening? And I would try and force it, and then it would just feel wrong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or I would not feel him being present there, and then I would get upset, and then we're both in resentment, and then nothing happens.
So the big benefit of the program and the work you've done here with me was learning when you are full of love and when you need to slow down and feel your hunger again, right?
Yes.
So it's not like, oh, I'm feeling guilty because I don't want to see you. I am actually full. I need 5 minutes for myself. Like, relationship is really closeness, togetherness, separateness, together, like breathing. A lot of couples are right like this for a short time, and then you can't stand that, because the healthy relationship is really a breathing relationship, and you're having a breathing relationship, even in a lockdown, through the communication, through being able to say, hey, can we take a break for 5 minutes and then come back to the conversation again? And that conversation can be more present, more quality, like the communication rise.
Yes, exactly that.
Okay, fabulous. And how that affected your health and your work, your career?
Oh, I think I take things way less personally now.
You don't have to grind yourself to the ground to have a job.
Yes, yes, but also it's that understanding that it's so easy when you're cut off from your emotions, your feelings, your desires. It's so hard to know what is you and what is other people. And also, you can make choices about whether you take on certain energies or whether you say, okay, that's you, that's your thing, I'm not taking that on. I appreciate where you are at. Let's take this on. This is a you, that's whole your thing to deal with. I'm not saying I'm perfect at that, but it's like flexing a muscle, it's a muscle that I've built up, and it's getting easier every time I do it to do that. And it's making it easier with work, definitely with bosses, with my teaching, because I teach art, with my teaching, with friendships, and just having better boundaries, and just being like, okay, I'm going to step back from this for a second and take some time, figure out what it is that I don't like about this situation, come back to it, and just be able to be really clear and calm without just being in reactivity all the time. I think I'm definitely less reactive.
So powerful. And then you have better choices, right? When it comes
Then you have the luxury of a response rather than a reaction.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. And what was your favorite moment through this whole process? Like, what was your favorite moment when you remember now? It was hard to work. We had some fun. Like, what was your most favorite fun moment?
Doing the exercises, like the concubine exercise and the like writing your own fairy exercise, like fairy story exercise. I found those enjoyable, but I think the thing that I really enjoyed the most was having this community with other women and knowing I'm not the only person. And also knowing that I know this is it's gonna sound strange to say, but there are some issues that I don't have.
Or
And,
not anymore. Or don't
yeah,
have.
or don't have, or like never had, but being able to find that there is a space where you can find common ground, even with people that don't have the same difficulties as you. Like, you can listen to a call with, say, 6 other women on it, and the conversation is just as relevant for person A as it is for person E. And you're all living different lives and everything, but there's a commonality and a feeling that we're all experiencing. We co-create that situation together, and I think that's really beautiful.
Thank you for saying that. It's it's powerful. Yeah. And last question. And which part of you emerged that you were surprised of, or you were like, oh, that's me? Oh, that's me. That's also me.
Yeah. I mentioned this to you the other day, but I'm starting to get squishy.
Squishy.
So if you think about if we take the fairy tale of Rapunzel as an example, there's the princess, the knight, and the dragon. And in my life, I've always been the dragon. That's how I see myself. And now I'm becoming the princess, and I'm like, who is this woman? I don't know who this woman is. I've not met her. Or maybe I have, but I've always just kind of like shoved her to the side. But now I'm getting to know her. I'm getting to know her.
I love it. I love it. And I love to saying this, and you still have a dragon, and that's amazing. And sometimes I've been called even I'm a dragon whisperer. Right? So,
really?
So when you said that, I'm like, yeah, I've met lots of dragons.
Yes.
I'm not afraid of the dragon. Bring the dragon on. Bring it. and like there is so much more, right? And it's good to have access to all of those personalities, and it's not that you want to put the dragon into sleep. You still have it and need it from time to time as well. Like you can have a needed princess, which would bring you different nutrients and different flavors of experiencing love.
Yeah, exactly. They're tools in a toolbox rather than
Yeah. Fabulous. This is so good. Is there anything else you want to say for anyone who would think about going through this journey or not?
I would say just do it. Just do it. You'll thank yourself later. And also, don't necessarily be too tough on yourself about how long it takes you. It's process, not perfection. And this is something I wake up every day and tell myself as well. So if it takes you a little longer, that's okay. And also, thank you to you. Thank you so much for guiding.
It disconnected. Say that again.
Yeah, I said thank you so much for your guidance and your energy.
You're welcome. My pleasure. I mean, as many of us wake up and as many of us get free and really truly step into our true love, and with all of the flavors, that many men will become liberated too. And this is how it's meant to be.
Yes.
And that life is worth living. So yeah, fabulous. Thank you so much for this call. I am going to see you on our monthly calls and still witnessing your beautiful journey.
Thank you.
Thank you.